Good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Beers and the first show of 2013. That sounds so futuristic, doesn't it? Saying 2013. I think it does. 2013. It's just I don't know. It's something about that. It sounds I don't know. You think back a few years and 2013. Wasn't there like a movie?
2010, A Space Odyssey, or
Something like
2001, A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds futuristic. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's just me. All right, let's.
It's just you.
It could be that we're just tired. Apparently, we're not feeling well after our dinner last night.
Frito Bandito.
Yeah, it was Banditos. No, it's Frito Batitos. Frito Batitos. It's Ann Arbor. Apparently, that name means turd sandwich in Spanish, and it really
Upset stomach.
It lends credence. I don't mean to bash another restaurant, but okay, it's Frito. But if you've never been there, it's a fast food restaurant. And it was $43 for our dinner, 2 sandwiches. We're talking about. Imagine getting 2 Big Macs for $43. That's what we're talking about. So if that place makes it, I'm going to be convinced that you can open up a restaurant selling turd sandwiches and be quite successful, because it is literally a turd sandwich is what we're talking about. And $43 for a turd sandwich.
Well, it's going to make some really rank turds.
Even in New York City, $43 for a turd sandwich is a lot of money. So, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Okay, let's talk about something better. We gotta try to get rid of that awful taste in our mouth from last night. Christmas presents. Last week we drank. We got some beers for Christmas. Last week we drank the Christmas gift that Jim and Dorothy gave us. A very nice beer from Epic Brewing Company. This week, this is from Pete. Pete, the owner of 4th Street Brewery, gave us a few beers for Christmas. This is not actually a beer. Very interested, very intrigued by this. This is from Rogue Brewing Company in Oregon. Big fans of Rogue, and they've been doing some different stuff. They have like their own farms, so they're also distilling, and they've been doing some barrel aged stuff that's doing beers in the barrels of stuff that they're distilling, and then they're also growing their own hops, their own grains, and they're producing beers with that. This is kind of along that same line. The Chateau Rogue. The stuff that they're growing, stuff that they're producing on this farm, but this is actually a mead. So not only are they growing stuff that they're making beers with, but they also are beekeepers, and they're getting this, harvesting the honey and producing a mead, which is fermented honey. Mead is where the term honeymoon comes from. If you're not familiar with that, I don't know that we need to go into that whole story. You can Google that and look that up. That mead, fermented honey wine, was the traditional wedding gift, and it came to result in the term honeymoon. Normally meads are very high alcohol. This is very low alcohol, which I think also makes it interesting because of the fact that you just don't see mead with this low of alcohol content on there. I'm not seeing it now. The alcohol content.
Right there, isn't it?
No. No, it's like 6% or something like that. It's very low alcohol. So let's check it out. It is brewed with jasmine and champagne yeast, fermented with champagne yeast. Green tea leaves also. Green tea leaves and jasmine. Let's check it out. Very light color. Kind of looks like a traditional mead. This appears to be slightly effervescent. Normally mead would be still. I see bubbles in there, so apparently some carbonation in it. Very interesting aroma. Kind of has a tea aroma, hence the
green
green tea character in there. Very thin body, which is unusual for a mead. Usually you get a lot of body from the honey.
I don't know what jasmine's supposed to taste like. I mean, I know what it smells like, but I don't taste jasmine. Or I don't know what I'm supposed to be picking up in there as far as jasmine.
Well, it reminds me a lot of like white grape juice. Is kind of the flavor
That's
I'm getting
because of the green tea.
White grape juice, the tea character, floral.
Then that must be the jasmine, because jasmine's floral.
I'm getting the honey in the nose.
Yeah, I'm not getting any floral in the nose.
The flavor is sort of white grape, flowers, tea, a little bit of honey in there. Sort of like a honey tea with something else in there that, not knowing about jasmine, I wouldn't be able to pick out of there.
Yeah, I don't know what
I guess.
jasmine's supposed to taste like.
And very lightly carbonated.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very different for a mead.
It's light.
It is very light. It's actually, you won't hear people say this about mead. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
I think this is a little bit cold. I'd probably like to see it warm up a
Well,
little bit.
it's got a lot more than just honey in it. I mean,
Mm-hmm. But it's thin. Normally, because the meads have so much body to them, I think that kind of keeps it a little bit from being, even if the alcohol content wasn't high, I think that keeps it from being refreshing because it's so full-bodied.
yeah.
Just not really like a summer sipper. Or I could say with this could actually, I could see myself sitting outside on a hot summer day and drinking this.
Yeah,
Pretty
because
refreshing.
of the tea characteristic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's different.
Very unique. So check that out if you can find that. This came from Merchants, and really, this is an amazing price for this. You'll see meads for a lot more than that. It was $6.99 for
I know,
that.
that's what I'm thinking.
So,
it's not really a mead.
So that alone would make me, get this pretty regularly because of the price and the refreshing character of this. So look for that. We bought this, this was a gift from Pete, but he bought this at Dearborn's Merchants Fine Wines in Dearborn, and I'm sure you can probably get this at any good beer store in Michigan and Metro Detroit areas. So check that out. Something to look forward to. First, new beer other than. No, I'm way off on that because we're already going to be on like our second Thursday. Coming up, Thursday's going to be the 10th of January.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving right along. Before you know it, it's going to be Festivus.
Before you know it, it'll be summer. I can't wait.
That's true too. It's actually, we're going to get a warm spell this week, so we've been stuck with this snow here since before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a pretty long stretch, I think, given the global warming and the fact that we don't have much snow or cold anymore. I think it's amazing that we've had cold and snow. In fact, yesterday when I was out kayaking, the river was mostly frozen over. So kind of unusual to see.
Cold.
But they're talking about a little warm spell this week, so we might see that snow go away. But it's winter either way. It's still winter-like.
It's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. But Festivus is fast upon us. And this week, something very exciting. When it's winter, cold weather comes upon us, one thing that people get very excited about at 4th Street Brewery is that the cold weather comes and their thought pops in their head of Beer Normus. Imperial Stout that is malt Normus, hop Normus, and alcohol Normus. And people get excited about it, and they start thinking, it's cold outside, how soon before Beer Normus comes on tap? Well, I'm going to tell you how soon. This Thursday, we're going to be tapping a cask of it. So you know that Beer Normus itself is going to be on tap pretty soon. Actually, the following week, Beer Normus will be on tap. So the cask this week is called Egg in Your Beer. And that's got you thinking, oh gosh, what did Doug do? It's called, what do you want, egg in your beer? Well, you know what I put in the cask of Beer Normus? Eggnog.
Oh, okay.
Eggnog.
Okay.
So, my thought on that was...
All I can think is you cracked eggs and put it in. I'm like, raw eggs?
That would be good too, but eggnog is even better. Everybody likes eggnog, and eggnog and stout, that's just the natural. It's sort of like a stout float, vanilla ice cream and stout. Eggnog and stout.
Did it come out looking creamy or?
Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. It's in the cask. We won't see it until we tap it on Thursday at 8 o'clock. But I'll tell you what, it smells really, really good. I think it's going to be delicious. Eggnog and stout. You don't get any better. Not just eggnog and stout, eggnog and Beer Normus. It's going to be delicious. So that's what we got going on Thursday at 4th Street Brewery. Look who is coming. Might come and make an appearance on the show. Apparently not. No. Lily is going to join the rest of the studio audience over there.
She's more interested in my jacket.
Checking out the. She's kind of being coy. She's checking out the studio audience, sniffing the camera, and then she'll finally work her way over here. But she might not make it in time because we got to wrap this show up. So, wonderful beer here. Thank you very much, Pete. Actually, mead should I say. Check it out. It is definitely worth checking out. I think if you've never had mead and you've been kind of afraid of it, good place to start
Oh, yeah,
is
for sure.
right there. And then eggnog imperial stout on Thursday at 4th Street Brewery doesn't get much more unique than that, that's for sure. And Frida Batido's yuck turd sandwich. So remember that if you go to dinner.
I'm the Frito
There you go.
Bandito.
Cheers, everyone. We'll see you this week. Have a great week. Take care.